It is important to be able to correctly make a coaxial cable. This is a length of satellite cable that has coaxial connectors similar to this coaxial connector here on either end of a single length of cable. Very common purposes or uses of this would be, for example, session number 7 and session number 8. The next topic I'm going to deal with now is how to make a coaxial. Number 7 and session number 8. The next topic I'm going to deal with now is how to make a coaxial cable. This is made by getting a length of satellite cable off a roll similar to this, or a short length that you bought yourself, and putting on the end of it 2 coaxial connectors similar to these connectors here. Common uses for a satellite cable or a coaxial lead like this would be, for example, connecting a TV faceplate on a wall to the back of a television for the distribution of an aerial signal to multiple rooms. I'll quickly go through the steps involved in assembling this cable. The first step would be to use the only tool required in this to pare down the end of a piece of satellite cable. We make a series of circular incisions around the outside of the cable, about 20 millimeters from the end of the cable. We then, at 90 degrees to this, make a series of incisions, the length of the satellite cable, just through the outer black cable. At that stage there, we rub down the earth cable on the outside, and we grab the silver cable, the silver foil, and use our snips to cut off this excess and unwanted silver foil, and we wrap the earth outer cable in a clockwise manner around the satellite black outer leaf of the satellite cable. And now, using the snips again, about 6 to 7 millimeters from the end of the copper braiding on the outside, we cut the inner foam, and we can remove the unwanted outer foam. And at this stage then, we will disassemble one of our coaxial connectors. We slide the base of the connector onto the cable. Using our snips, we pull out the clamping mechanism, and we open this up like this so it can slide neatly onto the satellite cable, and now we clamp it in by simply squeezing in the prongs by hand. Next, we push this connector, the end piece up, and we push the central connector. The central coaxials consist of 2 pieces, the outer casing and the central casing, but we can insert them in a single motion. When we do so, we slide this cable up and we use the base mechanism to lock this in. Now, at this stage, if the cable was coming directly off the reel, we would gauge what length of cable do we require. Normally, in such situations, you're looking for a cable length of between 0.8 and maybe 1.3, 1.4 meters. So in this situation, I've already cut a length of cable. It's roughly about 1.3 meters long, and I've already put an identical connector on the far end of this cable. So that's a coaxial connectors that has been fully assembled and is ready for use, to be one end to be inserted in a faceplate on the wall, for example, and the other end to be inserted into the back of a television. Now, one additional, and that is basically it, a coax connector, a coax lead made, a male-to-male coax lead fully assembled from start to finish. And the next step of the process would be to come along and put on a barrel onto the end of the coax connector, which will simply join the cables together. So what happens here is we simply slide this barrel onto one end of the connectors, and it slides on like this. So this adapts it from a male to male connector to a female to male connector, and this can make this suitable for connection of a video to a television, which requires a male to female connection.